So you followed along and made your first kill team, but now you actually want to play kill team, and you realize you don't have any terrain. And you also realize the 40 bucks for a wall is a little bit out of your budget and frankly outrageous. So today we're going to build some awesome terrain for practically free. Firstly, grab any junk you have laying around the house. I've cut out the inside of this massage case, grabbed some of the ends for that massager, got some egg cartons, some cardboard boxes, some plastic sleeves from other packaging, some cans, and some discarded sprues from our Kill Team box. First, I'm going to look at our pile of junk and make a sort of plan for some of our bigger shapes. This massage case piece will make a pretty cool building of its own. The cans can probably be stacked in interesting ways to make some cylindrical industrial buildings. The heads of the massager can be interesting tacked-on shapes or antennae-like structure. And the sprues can be used to add texture or for broken down walls like pieces of rebar. The first thing I'm going to start with is probably the least intimidating and most versatile piece of terrain. We're making a simple wall. If you haven't gathered as much junk as I have, all you need for this is simple cardboard. I'm taking strips of cardboard and using my lucky number 2 pencil to draw some rough edges to one side. We can then cut out these pieces of cardboard and stack them one on top of the other to give the wall some depth and layers. Make sure each layer is slightly shorter than your main piece to give it a good stacking effect. Once the wall is assembled, we can add on an end piece in a similar way for stability and refine the wall shape further by cutting away at it. I chose to cut off this corner to make the end look more natural rather than it being a sudden edge. These walls can be painted in any kind of way that matches your desired environment, but we are going to go for a rusted feel. For that, we are going to prime the wall and paint the base of it a rusty reddish color. While it is still wet, I'm going to blend in some silvery gunmetal to give the body of it a bit more clarity that it was once metal and is now deteriorating. I go back in with the rust color as well in order to wet blend the metallic color and the rust color. Then, while it is still wet, we'll take a brush of lighter orange and stroke it from top down, trying to hit those edges as if water was dripping down, corroding this wall. Once that's semi-dry, we can hit it with an even lighter orange-yellow color for final detailing. I use these exact same steps on a lot of the terrain in this video to give things an old rusted vibe. The next level up from a cardboard wall is just to start gluing some cutout sprues to the wall. We can follow the same general steps as the cardboard wall, but just add sprues as our layers instead to give it a more industrial look. We'll paint it in the exact same way as the previous wall, and this is how it turns out. Stepping up from that, we start to build some of our actual buildings. My primary structure for most of my buildings are cans. I can stack and offset cans, gluing them together to get different shapes for the body of the building. Cutting out other pieces of cardboard also lets us build attached walls to these buildings, allowing us to break away from a strictly cat food can kind of look. I use the can as a little guide to cut out little lids for the open side of the can, and then can use that same cardboard piece to perfectly fit around the can as a railing. If you are really keen on it, you can even build little model-sized stairs that can actually support your character, as you can see here. Using the massage heads from before and some egg carton cutouts, we can get some interesting roof toppers that look like industrial vents or some other kind of industrial-like shape. We can base paint these buildings in a similar way as to our walls, and then start to paint on some detailing. Painting black or dark lines onto the building and then picking edges to highlight can give a kind of groove look. Since I want these buildings to be imperial buildings, I will try and stick to a sharp, pointy shapes and industrial-looking patterns for detailing. And this is what we end up with. Our last few buildings are the most different. I had these more organic shapes from the egg cartons and the massage case, so I thought these buildings could be more of a Tau structure. For the little Tau support tents, we can just cut out a few egg carton pyramids and stick some cardboard linings to them. For the large Tau structure, we'll want it a bit more off the ground, so I'll attach a layer of cardboard walls to make it taller. Then, to add some interesting detail, I'll cut out smaller sections of sprue and glue them to the walls. We can use some other scraps to try and add additional detailing, like door frames. Painting the Tau buildings was interesting, since I didn't have much of a plan. I wanted them cleaner, more light, and more elegant than the imperial rusting buildings and walls. I ended up painting the buildings light eggshell colors with some orange and blue accents, with some bright silver metallic paint. When painting the beams on this building, I used a similar technique that we talked about earlier, but instead of highlighting an edge, I used a black edge to try and give the illusion of a shadow rather than a highlight. Make sure the edge you pick is either the bottom edge, so that it appears as if light is above the surface, or follows the same side as if light is being projected onto the building from one side to the other, just to make things line up. With everything painted and put together, let's get our guys in there and play a game. If you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It helps this fledgling channel grow. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.